What is up guys, Smooth here, back with another Minecraft video. Today we're going to be looking at the top 10 Minecraft servers in the world. I did quite a bit of research and found a handful of epic servers I hadn't seen before that have thousands upon thousands of players online at any given time. Now the main criteria for making it into the top 10 is having the largest number of players active during peak hours. A lot of servers were really close, so I watched the player numbers for about a week or so to come to the countdown you're about to see. If they were still too close to be certain, it came down to which server I thought had a better user experience. Now I'm in a server right now, and as you can see behind me, we have some awesome stuff to look forward to. Anyway, let's hop right into the countdown. Starting off the countdown at number 10, we have the Rewinside server. The Rewinside server is a German server that usually has about 6,000 to 7,000 players online during peak hours and is also owned by a YouTuber whose name just happens to be Rewinside. His real name is also Sebastian Meyer, and he currently has 1.2 million subscribers on his main channel. Now, as popular as this server is, they definitely focus a lot more on quality over quantity. They only have several minigames, which you can see down over here. So you'll see it has survival games and trap survival games, BedWars, Revo, JumpDown, and GetDown. So it doesn't really have too much stuff going on in terms of giving you a lot of variety, but they do everything very well, and they also have fantastic online leaderboards. So it's actually extremely competitive, and people really enjoy the server a lot. Now, it's worth noting that it's mostly in German, so you're not going to have an easy time kind of understanding things. But if you want to learn a little German, or if you are a German player who understands the language, you'll have a lot of fun on this particular server. It also has a very active TeamSpeak, as you can see on the right, which is ts.ruinside.tv. Coming in at number 9, we have a Russian server called LastCraft. Now, when you log into this server, you'll immediately be put into this room right over here, and you can't actually go anywhere. They actually require you to create an account for the server, as you can see over here. Now, this is going to be a little bit intimidating to some of you guys because they don't use a Latin alphabet, they're actually using Cyrillic. So you see it has all this stuff over here, and I kind of figured it out after a little while of messing around, but basically this is how you would log in over here, and this is how you would register. So I've already done this whole process, but I'll show you how it would be done. So you would type in /reg, and then you would just type in your password twice. So you see this little bit of lettering, these two words over here, and this word over here, they mean password. So for example, I could just write YouTube video, whoops, make sure I spell it correctly both times, and this would essentially be my password. You don't have to type in any username because it's strictly for your account that you have on Minecraft. This is basically made so that way if your account gets hacked, you will have everything on your server maintained, and then once you've created your account, you would simply type in /l and then type your password in once again, which I'll do right now. So once you're actually in the server, you end up in this little place over here, and this is a fantastic looking little spawn point. Now, by the way, this server also gets about 8,000 players during peak hours, and since it's in a very different time zone from most American and European players, you're not going to see a lot of people on during late night hours. And I'm from New York, so I will see them go as high again as 8,000 in the morning and probably as low as 500 people during nighttime. So it has very different peak hours, which kind of makes it convenient if you like playing at a different time, or if you're an actual Russian player, this will probably be very convenient for you. So let's look at what minigames they have. So this is one of the few parts that you can actually understand. You'll see at the top that they write them in normal Latin. So you have VampireZ, Kit PvP, Skyblock, regular creative mode, McMMO, Castle Wars, Parkour, BedWars, a whole bunch of different arcade games as you can see here, including Pacman, which I liked a lot by the way, and I highly recommend you try it. Hide and Seek, inTime, which apparently isn't here yet. It's not inTime, haha. Survival games, Hunger Games, Sky Wars, Build Battle, and Creeper Attack. So I'd love to say more about the server. I did experiment with a little bit, and it looks very cool, but I honestly can't say much more than I've already told you since I don't understand the language. But I definitely recommend you guys check it out because everything that I have seen looks like it's very well done. Coming in at number 8, we have the Crystallic server. Now you'll notice that this is also another Russian server, but this one happens to be the most popular Russian server in the world. It's owned by a YouTuber named dmaster59ru who has about 750,000 subscribers. Now I'm going to warn you guys and say that this is probably the most difficult server I've ever had to log on to in my entire life. Now, beyond the language barrier being a bit of an issue, you have to sign up for this on a separate forum, on a separate website rather, which is crystallics.net. You then have to download a different Minecraft client and log into it, and that's exactly what I've done over here. And this is basically all without knowing the language. So I had to do quite a bit of research to get this to actually function properly. That being said, it is the most popular Russian server in the world and yields about 8 to 10,000 players online during peak hours. So it definitely seems like a quality server, but if you don't speak the language, I would say it's probably not worth the effort. So once I downloaded this different client, I had to change a couple of the settings because when I would pause it, you'll see that this is now in English, but prior to that, it was actually completely in Russian. So this was actually a very long process for me to get this working. But now that I did figure it out, here is a list of the mini games. So let's go to the browser over here, and only some of them are going to be in English, so I'm not sure what some of these actually say, but I'll give you guys as much information as I am capable of. So you have something called War, Annihilation, Grand Theft Minecraft, Zombie Mod, Hunger Games, The Hub, and something else over here. Build Battle, Colony Wars, BedWars, again, which the other server had as well. PvP, Prison, JediCraft, Sky Wars, two things I don't understand. CivCraft, which I believe is based on the video game Civ 5. MineZ, and that pretty much sums it up. I wish I could give you more information about this server, but then again, it is extremely difficult for me to get through any of this. So it's definitely interesting if you are a Russian player, but if not, I would say you probably want to skip this one. Coming in at number 7, we have the Cosmic PvP server. This server gets over 10,000 players online during peak hours and is actually owned by two very well-known YouTubers. The first one is PressAndPlay/TBNRFrags, whose main channel has over 2 million subscribers, and the other one being Mr. Wolfels, who has over 1.5 million subscribers on his main channel. Now, the entire concept of this server is that it's essentially an intergalactic PvP server. So if you look around, this is supposed to be like your space helmet that's equipped on right over here, and this is like your hub. So if I click on the compass over here, it'll show you where you can go. So you have, I'll start with this one over here. You have the Vanilla Galaxy, which is basically just a small version of like little vanilla mini games and whatnot. And it's nothing too crazy. This is not a very popular part of the server. As you can see, not a lot of players are currently online. You have the Practice Galaxy and you have the Event Galaxy. This one I believe is done strictly for like whenever like the YouTubers are having like different sort of events and whatnot. And the Practice Galaxy I believe is also for, I think it's for only premium membership if I'm not mistaken, although you can double check on that one. But this is where most of the fun happens. So let's click over here and you can go to any one of these planets. Now you'll see that right now there's actually not too many players online, but then again I'm doing this video at night. So let's go to the alien planet and I'll show you how the server kind of functions. Alright, so let's go into first person view. So you'll spawn over here in this kind of little lobby area and you're gonna have a whole ton of different things you can buy. So that is a lot of sound. Let me lower that down a notch. There we go. So you have all these different things you can buy and they can give you a bunch of different effects. But the general way you want to hop into the game once you do have some form of equipment is you're going to go over here. You see it says Alien Planet. You're just going to hop right down and then the PvP starts. So I'm just going to hit this guy a couple times and he's going to kill me because I have no weapons. And just like that, I'm officially dead. But that's the gist of the server. You have a bunch of different worlds. It's strictly PvP based and it's quite well done. Coming in at number 6, we have the Hive server. This server usually gets around 10 to 12,000 players during peak hours and is a very popular server among a lot of YouTubers, and I believe I've recorded here several times myself. So it's owned by 4 people, one of them being Jolly Ajax, aka Jolly Old Brits, who's a YouTuber with 200,000 subscribers, a former YouTuber named Vareed, who has 400,000 subscribers, and 2 guys named Clankstar and Boxer. So it has a whole bunch of different things that you can do on it, so let's go and look at the minigames first. So if you see over here, you have Sky Wars, the Arcade, Survival Games, Hide and Seek, the Herobrine, Block Party, Splegg, Trouble in Mineville, Death Run, Survival Games, Solo, Draw It, The Lab, Cowboys and Indians, One in the Chamber, and Survival Games Heroes. And this is some other stuff, so it has Parkour as well. So all these mini games are done phenomenally well, and this server is pretty active during all times during the day. I know that back in the day when I would play the server a lot more often, survival games were probably the most popular things that were being offered over here. And during peak hours, it was actually really hard to get into a lobby because they were just so overcrowded. But if that's what you're into, this is one of the better servers to go on. They also has a ton of different like pets and stuff like that. So let me see if I can find that for you guys. I got us a fun gun with meow balls. I'm not exactly sure what I just did, but let me see if I can show you the pet section. Maybe, maybe not. It's the enchanted crystals, players enabled, hub selector. Let's skip that. The Hive menu, there we go. So you'll see you can get pets, mounts, hats, and achievements. So it does offer you a handful of things if you are that kind of person that wants to spend money on a server. So it does offer a lot of options and is a very high quality server. Halfway through the countdown, we're now at number 5, and this server is called EpicCube. This one actually has one of my favorite hubs as it makes everything look very intuitive, so you can see almost everything from the center, which I'm a very big fan of. This happens to be the biggest French server in the world, and it peaks around 15,000 players online. So it's probably owned by a guy named Chekavaya, but again, since this is not in the English language, it was a little bit difficult for me to get more information on it. But it does have over 20 minigames, which I'll show you right now. So these parts are in English, so I can read these to you. Sheep Wars, PvP Swap, Pitch Out, Mutron, Domination, Catch the Cow, Fallen Kingdoms, Arrow, UHC Run, UHC Theme, UHC, so apparently this is a very popular UHC server, Survivor, Hunger Games, Payday, and I think I just got, I'm not sure what just happened. I think that was like a mass refresh because you see everybody in the bottom left disconnected, but I don't think that's normal. That's a really awesome image of Link. But let's get back into the list. We have Ice Runner, Totem, Age of Empire, which I actually played, and I wish I understood a little bit better, but it's pretty cool. This is one of my favorite games of all time, in outside of Minecraft, that is. But I was a little bit confused since, again, the instructions were not in English. Disco Sheep and Epic Smash. There are a couple other things over here. So you have like, I think This Do would be like Parkour, among some other things. But this server in general is quite good. It's very active during most times of the day. Although during nighttime, where I'm from in New York, it's a little bit slower, but you'll generally never see less than 3,000 players online, and again, about 15,000 during peak hours. Coming in at number 4, we have the GAM.HD server. This is the most popular server in Germany, and I've seen it peak as high as 25,000 players online. It's worth noting that most of this is actually available in English, so you're not going to have a lot of problems having to read German, so it is actually very intuitive to use for all my English speakers out there. It's owned by a YouTuber named GAM.HD, the same as the server name, and he has about 1.3 million subscribers on his main channel. So let me show you some of the mini games that this server has to offer. So you have Rage Mode, Survival Games, Trouble in Minecraft, Zombies, Surf, BedWars. Again, BedWars being very popular on foreign servers if you haven't noticed, and it's actually a very good game that I recommend you guys try on any of the servers I've mentioned, by the way. Conquest, Survival, PvP, Cores, Sky Wars, Ender Games, Aura, and Shopping Chaos. So out of all these, from my experience, Sky Wars is the busiest, but this again is a quality server and is going to be busy during most times of the day. Coming in at number 3, we have the CubeCraft server. This server gets as high as 30,000 players online and is owned by somebody named Rubik CubeMan. It has 13 mini games, seasonal games, daily challenges, and a handful of vanity items. So let's quickly take a look at some of the stuff it has to offer. So you'll see it has the Lucky Islands, which is its own little series of games, which I'll show that towards the end of this little clip. We have Money Walls, Tower Defense, the arcade, which has a handful of different games, PvP, Egg Wars, Block Wars, Parkour, Sky Wars, Survival Games, Free Build, which offers a couple different options as well, Ultra Hardcore, Control Point, and the rest of this stuff is just options. But let's quickly take a look at the Lucky Islands. All right, so here we are. So it's going to adjust my texture pack very quickly, and I'm lagging, but there we go. So as you can see, these blocks now have turned into Lucky Blocks. So it's very similar to the Lucky Block mod, and that's what this minigame is about. It's a pretty cool concept, and after playing it, I was pretty intrigued by it. It's essentially Lucky Block, and then you guys have to fight a couple different teams at the end of everything. Very, very cool game. Let me show you some of the other things that this server has to offer. If you go to the challenge menus, it'll show you your achievements as well as some daily challenges that you can accomplish. So for example, win a game of survival games, play 3 games of Sky Wars, etc., and you will get rewarded for these. So let's look at some of the vanity items. You have hats, trails, wardrobe, gadgets, win effects, miniatures, cubelets, which I'm not exactly sure what they are, glass colors, arrow trails, and that is the gist of that. But this is basically probably the most popular server in the world that is not owned or affiliated with a very big YouTuber, and it's been doing phenomenally well for a while. Coming in at number 2, we have the Mineplex server. This server gets around 30 to 40,000 players during peak hours and has been one of the most successful servers in Minecraft for quite a while now. Its owners are Defect7MC, Sterling, and Chiss. It also has two YouTubers that are essentially partners, and they are Captain Sparkles and Parkour Games. Now, I want to say that this probably has the most intuitive lobby out of every single server that I've ever seen, and it basically makes everything really easy to access. So if you're standing on this little platform over here, which I apparently can't do because I jumped too high, you can pretty much see everything. So you have all the games you can access right over here. They're listed on the top as well, and you can see them here. Again, just really easy to use. So if you're kind of a noob at things, this will be the easiest thing in the world. You'll simply go over here, walk to the portal. You won't even have to know about using the compass. But anyway, let's look at the compass so I can show you guys what mini games it has to offer, and it does offer over 20. So and it's also worth noting that it does have seasonal events. So you can have a Halloween event, you'll have a Thanksgiving event, a Christmas event, etc. And they're all phenomenally well done. The coders for this server are extremely talented. So you have the bridges, capture the flag, mine strike, draw my thing, dominate, survival games, type wars, gladiators, sky wars, team deathmatch, super smash mobs, UHC, castle siege, arcade mixed games, which as you can see has a ton of different things. So it's one of the reasons why I think this actually might have over 30 mini games if you include the arcade mixed games. Master builders, block hunt, wizards, Christmas chaos, which is their Christmas seasonal event, monster maze, Mineplex clans, which is in its alpha release, and apparently nobody's playing it currently. Player service, you can actually host your own little mini games, and Snow Fight, which again I believe is a seasonal event. So this offers a ton of different stuff, and I believe it also has some cosmetic things as well. So if you go over here, you'll see you have, I think treasure shards are like the currency, but you can buy particle effects, gadgets, hats, costumes, arrow trails, double jump effects, mounts, different kinds of music, taunts, pets, and death animations. So all in all, this is one of the more complete servers you'll see out there, and it is busy perpetually, pretty much during all times of the day. Very good server, and I highly recommend it. Coming in at number 1, we have the Hypixel server. This server peaks at around 35 to 45,000 players online at times, and is owned by a YouTuber named Hypixel. Now this guy was very well known for his builds as well as his maps, and currently has about 400,000 subscribers. Now this server is known for doing things extremely well, and it has a lot of seasonal events. It's updated extremely often, and is pretty much the go-to for most people out there. So you'll notice that there's a really convenient way to access a lot of the mini games. You have this giant portal here as well, but we're going to look at the compass to show you some of the games that this thing has to offer. You'll notice that it's very seasonal for the holiday season. Very seasonal for the holiday season. Did I just say that? Well, you guys get what I'm talking about. Anyhow, let's take a look at the mini games. So you have Cops and Crims, Blitz survival games, The Walls, Paintball Warfare, Vampires, Pixel Painters, Crazy Walls, which is new, Smash Heroes, which apparently is in closed beta, but there are over 1,000 players playing. You have Santa Says, which is a seasonal event, Turbo Kart Races, which you saw in the intro, which I'll show you again in just a moment. Arena Brawl, the TNT games, which include several different mini games. Build Battle, Skywars New, Mega Walls, Quakecraft, Warlords, UHC Champions, arcade games, which includes a very large handful. And it has a couple other things in here as well, which is Player Housing, which is an open beta. And it already has 2,400 players online. So there's quite a bit going on, and this thing also has quite a few cosmetics as well as collectibles. Let me see if I can open this up over here. Let's go like this. There you go. So on the collectibles, you can get pets, prestigious companions, particle packs, hats, banners, cloaks, morphs, gadgets, as well as suits. Now let's go into that mini game that I mentioned earlier so we can see how awesome some of the things are on this server. And when I said that things are well done, I really wasn't kidding. So at the moment we're downloading the resource pack, and it's going to change into the racing simulator you're about to see right here. So this is the lobby, which looks pretty awesome. It has these custom textures over here, so that way you can see the instructions on how to play. A couple other servers have this as well. I'm just a fan that it's made for the tutorial part rather than just excessive advertising. And when you go over here, you can see some of the equipment that you can be wearing as well as the cars that you can be driving. And it looks really cool. I mean, this is one of the more impressive things I've seen on any server because, again, this is entirely vanilla. They're using, I believe, block models to accomplish all these looks, but again, looks so cool. Look at this entire collection of cars. It's pretty epic, and I think I have my custom costume on. Yeah, so this server just has so much to offer, and again, with all the frequent updates, you will not get bored going on this one very often. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. These are the top 10 Minecraft servers in the world. If you like this video, a like would be very much appreciated, as it does help me out a lot, and subscribe if you want to see videos similar to this one in the future. This was Smooth, and I'll see you all later. Take it easy, guys.